What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL DFS video where you're breaking down the Sunday Night Football showdown between two teams that I think hopefully it's a better outcome than our last showdown. But Jaden Daniels really didn't show up in that game as much as I thought he would. But we've got a fantastic showdown. We've got Atlanta at Minnesota. Cannot wait to see this game. Currently, right now, we've got Minnesota 24.5 point implied team total, and Atlanta being a 21.7 implied team total here. So I think it's going to be a higher scoring game. Hopefully we get 50 plus out of it, and hopefully we can take advantage of it. So if you've never been here before for NFL content, we're going to go through some statistics through 2023 season to now, and then we're going to build some lineups for you. So if you've not been here, make sure you hit that bell notification, subscribe to the channel, hype up the video. Whatever hyping up does, I guess it's new. I don't really know. But if you guys could hype the video up, watch this a couple of times to help the play through, that would be awesome. So we're going to do all of this. If you guys want to bounce ideas off of each other and you can't do it in the comment section down below, we have a Discord. Everything is down below. We also have a Fanatics, DraftKings, and a FanDuel Sportsbook link to sign up. If you've never signed up with any of those books and you use our link, we are going to give you a free month of FTA Plus for every single link that you guys sign up for and show us proof. That being said, we also have a DraftKings football league. So depending on when you watch this video, it's a main slate league every single week. It's $5 to enter. Get your lineup in there. You will win. Top three will win money every single week. And then at the end of the season, you will have a chance. The top three places, first place will be a lifetime subscription to FTA Plus. Second place will be a yearly, and third place will be a monthly subscription. So make sure you get in there as well. So that being said, I mentioned in the other ones, but FanDuel has now basically gone the same as DraftKings. So they've added another play. So last year it was just 5 plays and an MVP. Now you've got 6 players. The only difference, you've got 10,000 to work with. So what we're going to go over are statistics from DraftKings, but it is pretty much damn near similar now because of how the scoring is. Obviously different scoring a little bit, but in the same ballpark. So from 2023 to this season through last Monday Night Football, 84% of the winning lineups on DraftKings had at least one quarterback in there. I think you're probably going to need 2 here, but they had at least one quarterback. So only 6% of the lineups had 60 or 50, all $50,000 salary. So do not feel you need to use all of the salary. It's a big thing that a lot of people do feel. Only 16% of the players or people had a player $200 or less. You're really not, I mean, for the most part, unless there's injuries galore in the first half and then these guys come out of the woodwork, you're really not going to need a $200 player. But 80% of the winning lineups, they did have a $4,000 player or less. So we're looking at Oliver or down. I mean, there's a lot of people already out, so they're already ruled out. So it kind of gives you an idea. The average salary used has been $47,500. So feel free to leave $2,500 on the table. Now we're going to look at stacks. So a 4-2 stack took it down 44% of the time. So depending on what you want to go, if you think Minnesota's going to be playing from behind, maybe we do a 4-2 stack there and maybe they actually surprise us here. So that's one way. A 3-3 stack took it down 36% of the time. So 3 Atlanta, 3 Minnesota makes complete sense. And a 5-1 stack only took it down 21% of the time. Do not feel like you need to do a full 5-man stack here. I don't think I've ever done it, and it's actually paid off more than it has not. So be that as it may. Now we're going to look at captain or MVP spots, depending on which website you're on. So for instance, here, captain spots, wide receiver took it down 39% of the time. So we've got some great wide receivers in this one. Drake London, Justin Jefferson, right there. Mooney is another one that you could look at. Very interesting here to see what we've got. 28% of the time, it's been a running back. So obviously, Bijan would be number 1. Aaron Jones would be number 2. But I think a sneaky one could be Jordan Mason. So Jordan Mason got more work last week. Had 15 rushes, 68 yards. Aaron Jones does get the dump-off passes, though, a lot. So it's always something to look at. And if you look at the difference, Jones is 11,004. You got Mason at 99. You're going to save some money there. QB took it down 17% of the time. So obviously we know McCarthy kind of looked a little bit iffy at the beginning, and then boom, he came through, 23.2 fantasy points. Only had 143 yards in the air, but had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and had 1 rushing touchdown as well. So it looks a little iffy because he comes in with only 143 yards, but came through for him. So let's see what he can do. I think we're in a good spot there. Then you got Michael Penix. 298 yards, but 1 touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. Had a great week 1. I think he bounces back as well. So then this is where we get 7% of the time a tight end took it down. Tucker Kraft in Thursday Night Football, he was the one who took it down. So, you've got Kyle Pitts. I mean, you're not trusting Kyle Pitts as your tight end, as you shouldn't. Hawkinson, he didn't really do much at all. I don't know if a tight end takes it, but hopefully it's a little bit different game plan then. 7% of the time it was a defense, and then 2% of the time it was a kicker. I could see a kicker being in this one. It's definitely something we need to look at, though, but it just depends. So you come in, he had 9 fantasy points, 2 for 2 with 59 yards. He is good when it comes to long distance, but when it's short, he seems to miss overall, looking at what he did in college and looking what he did here. So kickers, I don't know about, but definitely wide receiver, running back, and QB, I do not mind whatsoever. So that being said, let's dig in a little bit. Let's make some lineups. Let's get crazy and let's build. So looking over everything, I think a lot of people are going to be on Robinson. Makes sense. He came through very early last week. He only had 24 rushing yards, but he had 50 receiving yards, or he had 100 receiving yards, 6 for 7, 100 yards, and a touchdown for a reception. So didn't do much on the ground, but through the air, to absolutely dominate it. It's exactly what you need on DraftKings here. But let's get him in there. But I think we want to go JJ. Let's go JJ for my captain. Let's go. Obviously, McCarthy's got to throw it to him. I think I've got to get in Bijan in there. So now we're 3 there. You got 2 Minnesota. You got another one there. Another one might be Algier. Now, he didn't do a ton last week, but he could be in there. That's the problem. He had 10 rushing attempts for only 24 yards. I did forget to mention, this is our matchup tool. You can find it under the NFL tab, and then you got our matchup tool right there. So obviously we have 1 week of statistics to look at, but you can see Atlanta Falcons against the... So these are the defenses. These are what they gave up to the quarterback, the rushing, and then the fantasy points allowed, and it's each position. It is part of FTA Plus. $10 for a week, $30 for a month, $200 for a yearly pass. But if you guys email me before this game locks, you can get a yearly pass for $75. Just email me dfshelp1@gmail.com. So you can see last week, Vikings gave up 210 yards through the air, and Falcons gave up 167. Falcons gave up 3 passing touchdowns, though, last week to the quarterbacks. Okay? So that's interesting for JJ McCarthy, as long as he can get more yards that we need. Rushing, you can see the Vikings defense gave up 58 rushing yards to the quarterback and a touchdown. Falcons gave up 39 with 0 tutties. And then last week, 24.2 fantasy points Vikings gave up to the quarterbacks, 22.6 there. And you can see the rankings for FanDuel and DraftKings as well. And you can check this out for running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. You can see both defenses did identical. 17 attempts, 53 yards. That's it. The yards are pretty much identical as well. They were really good against the running backs. Wide receivers, 157 yards, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. Vikings gave up, Falcons gave up. So I do like JJ there. And the Vikings gave up 1. You can see the fantasy points they gave up, the ranking. Obviously, about half the season through, and then you kind of will get a feel. Falcons gave up nothing to the tight ends there. Nothing. So Hawkinson scares me a little bit. And then the Vikings defense only gave up 43 yards. Kyle Pitts scares me a little bit as well. So that's what we've got for our matchup tool. Now, let's continue to build through here and see what we're able to do. So I think we got to get a little creative with some of the other wide receivers in here for both sides. Like, I think we do, but I think I want to get Jordan Mason in here as well. So that's Minnesota. Now, if we're looking at Atlanta, you want to go a 3-3 stack. I get it. Ray McLeod would make sense. Put up 8.1, had 51 yards. I think we get him in there. Oh, we can't get him in there. Sorry. So we're at 2,100 basically the rest of the way. So it is trying to get down here and find some of these guys. Carterell Hodge, do you think he's going to get in there? He only had 1 target last week. That's where it gets kind of tricky. You got Jones. Tim Jones could be interesting. He's $200. He didn't see anything news-wise. He signed him off their practice squad. He's elevated, logging 14 snaps on special teams and 3 on offense after opening a pair of roster spots by Hamstring and Tyler. Yeah, I mean, he's interesting. He has 17 career catches. He is one of those $200 players where the lineups already came out, the scoring or the pricing came out, and then someone got elevated that could play. Now, again, we're building you tournament lineups here. We're not building cash lineups, but that opens up a little bit. Josh Naylor could come in here, obviously 3.8. Everyone's going to be on JJ. Everyone's going to look at Adam Thielen, but Josh Naylor is one of those where's he coming through? He had 1 reception for 28 yards, but he had 3 targets. They were targeting him there. That's definitely one to look at. You could look at Felton at 1,200. Didn't do anything, but you could. So this is going to be more of a 4-2 stack because I'm going to go Atlanta here. I'm probably going to go, depending. I'm interested in Calderell Hodge. Hopefully he's able to do something. So again, tournament lineup, we left 2,500 on the table. Let's build you guys another one. So second lineup, if we don't want to go with Jefferson and you want to go, let's say somehow JJ McCarthy balls out in this one. He comes through, he gets it. He's the quarterback there. Like we said, quarterback won it 17% of the time. What can we get with a quarterback there? Now, I think if we're able to go a certain direction, we could go McCarthy, throwing it to Jefferson. I think he also throws it to Thielen, which I love Thielen. I'm a big Thielen guy. Didn't do much last week, but he's back, so I like that. I think we get Jordan Mason in there. And then I think we get Michael Penix in there. And now we're at 3,100, so we're able to go like Algier or Oliver. You could look at 1.5. Oliver didn't do anything. Tight ends really didn't do much. I would look at Algier. Now, he obviously did not do much there, but I would look at that. That's a lineup that I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with McCarthy in there. And I think we need one more lineup here just to help you out. And we can look. Okay, let's go on the other side. Let's say we're looking at Michael Penix as your captain spot, MVP spot, whichever you want to call it. And maybe we think it's going to be a full stack of 3-3. So if we're looking at Penix there, we got him dumping it off or handing it off to Bijan. Then I think we could get JJ McCarthy in there. I know he didn't do much, but it saves a little bit of salary. I think we get Thielen in here. And now we're at 3,200. So we're looking at Algier, Oliver, Hodge, Felton. Probably going Algier here. Now, again, these are all tournament lineups. They can and probably will change because maybe one of these guys, I doubt it, but maybe they're ruled out. Maybe they're sick, whatever it is. Maybe they're a healthy scratch. I don't know. But that stuff does happen sometimes. So that's your DraftKings. So now we can look at FanDuel. A little bit different. I want to get a little bit, the pricing is different, but I want to be creative with this one. So the first one, I'm going to go with Jordan Mason. I think it's very creative. I think not a lot of people are going to be on it, but it will really depend on if he comes through. And then let's do both kickers, okay? Let's say it's a bad game, because you always have to account for maybe there is going to be a bad game. Maybe we don't know what we're going to get. So you got to get that Young Ho in your lineup for sure. Your lineups always need one. 18, of course, at least 18. Realistically, maybe 21 where they can gamble and drink. But you got that Young Ho in there. So we've got Jordan Mason, Reichard, Young Ho. We're going to have JJ McCarthy in there. I'm going to put Penix in there. And now I still have 13-7. I can afford pretty much everyone but Bijan. And I think that's kind of what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Jefferson. So that's one lineup. Jordan Mason at the top. So we're going to put him in there. I'm going to go back. We're going to find another lineup for you. So now it'll depend on how creative do you want to go and what are we going to get? So let's go Bijan. Okay. So Bijan's very expensive. He's $20,700. He's very, very expensive. Okay. It's hard to get him all the way in here, but I think we might be able to, but I think we're going to have to put both kickers in here again. So we got them both in there, averaging about 8,700 the rest of the way, just to kind of get creative. Go Jordan Mason as well. And if you want to see a cheat sheet with all of our favorite captain spots, you want to see simulations, you want to see a matchup tool, you want to see all of that, you can get it for $10 a week under the NFL tab. You get everything. Simulations, matchup tool, volume report, snap counts, red zone stats, fantasy points allowed by position. We've got our chalk, we've got our projections, our prop bets, and of course our cheat sheet. all the plays we like in each position, and some lineups to start building off of. $10 a week, $30 a month. Go check it out. I suggest it. Or if you do want to do the yearly pass for $75, it's as simple as that as well. So let's get McCarthy in here. And now we're at 7,900. So you got the Vikings defense, which you obviously don't really want. Falcons defense. Pitts, I mean, he had 8 targets, 59 yards, 9.4. He was targeted a ton there, okay? And then if you go here, Vikings, they didn't give much. They gave up 43 yards, but I mean, if they've got other positions to worry about, maybe we get Kyle Pitts in there, okay? So we got 3 Atlanta, 3 Minnesota, got 1 quarterback in there, Bijan at the top. Bijan could win it for you right there. Like, he's got the stuff it takes. It'll just depend on if they're going to feed him the rock yet again. So then one final one. Let's look at J.J. McCarthy being the MVP spot. So we got McCarthy there, obviously at the top. I think we can get Penix in there as well, okay? So I think everyone's going to be on Jefferson. He's going to be very highly owned. He's 13,600. I just have a feeling Jalen Naylor comes through for some no reason whatsoever. Okay. Then you got Penix throwing it to Drake London, which we have not really talked about him that much. Now we're at 8,900 the rest of the way. I think Penix could throw it to Mooney as well. And then I think J.J. McCarthy could toss it to Aaron Jones as well. Interesting. It's a 3-3. I get that. Definitely interesting. Another lineup that I'm going to throw in. So that's what I have for Sunday Night Football. Make sure you check out everything on the website. We've got baseball content for Sunday. We also, depending on when you watch this video, there's NASCAR, there's a baseball slate, there's Sunday Night Football. We're also going to break down the main slate for NFL, and we're going to break down the Monday Night Football game as well. So hopefully you have a fantastic Sunday Night Football. Good luck, and as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.